Have you ever scrolled through Instagram and wondered how some people suddenly seem to have private jets, Lamborghinis, designer watches and vacations every month? For years, social media showed Nigerians a version of success that looked almost unreal. Mansions, champagne nights, Gucci from head to toe. And behind many of those viral photos were men who looked like the definition of modern success. But here is a question nobody asked at a time. Where was all that money really coming from? Because years later, many of those same Instagram big boys are no longer posting luxury photos. Some vanished from social media completely, others were arrested in international operations involving the FBI, Dubai police and Nigerian EFCC. Private jets turned into courtrooms, designer outfits turned into prison uniform. The very pages that made them famous later became evidence against them. Today, we are looking at 7 Yahoo boys who once ruled Instagram and what their life looks like now. At one point, scrolling through Instagram in Nigeria almost guaranteed you will see Mofa luxury cars, Rolls Royce, designer watches, private jets, 5-star hotels. His page looked less like a personal account and more like a luxury lifestyle magazine. Mofa presented himself as a successful currency trader and global businessman. To many followers, he looked like the proof that financial success will come fast. Behind the filter and flashy caption, investigators were quietly building a very different story. Authorities in Nigeria and the United States began linking Mofa and his company, Ismailo Global Investment Limited, to an international cyber fraud network. According to investigators, the operation allegedly targeted victims and businesses abroad through online scams. In 2019, Nigeria's EFCC charged him with money laundering involving billions of naira, while US investigators connected him to financial transactions totaling over $40 million. Suddenly, the same man who once dominated Instagram timelines was now dominating court headlines. And something else happened. The luxury posts slowed down, then they stopped. Mofa, once known for daily display of wealth, gradually disappeared from social media as his legal battle continued. The man who once ruled Instagram feed is now far more familiar with control than comment sections. But Mofa wasn't the only Instagram celebrity whose story took a shocking turn, because another man lived an even more extravagant lifestyle, and his fall came through one of the biggest cybercrime investigations in recent history. Kingsley Adonu looked like a businessman with powerful corporate connections. He often spoke about partnership with major telecom companies and promised investment opportunities that sounded almost too good to be true. Unfortunately, many people believed him. Authorities later alleged that through his company SNO, Mobile Net Zone Limited, investors were promised massive returns tied to telecom services. Thousands of people reportedly poured money into the scheme, but investigators said the business model was actually a Ponzi-style operation. Instead of legitimate profits, money from new investors was used to pay earlier participants. By the time authorities intervened in September 2024, the alleged fraud was estimated to involve billions of naira. The luxury lifestyle vanished, and the man once posing as a corporate partner ended up facing serious criminal charges. But if you think those numbers sound big, the next case involved tens of thousands of investors and hundreds of millions of dollars. For a brief moment, Woodberry lived a life that looked like a movie. Luxury apartments, designer fashion, exotic cars. His social media was filled with images of Rolls Royce, Lamborghini, expensive watches and luxury hotels. To many young followers, he looked like someone who had figured life out. But there was a detail most people didn't know. Woodberry wasn't operating alone. He was closely linked to another name that would soon become one of the most famous internet fraud cases in the world. That name was Hushpuppi. Together, authorities said they were involved in business email compromise scheme, a cybercrime where scammers impersonate executives or companies to trick businesses into transferring large sums of money. Between 2019 and 2020, investigators said Woodberry helped defraud companies of more than $8 million. Then came the moment that ended everything. In June 2020, Dubai police carried out a massive international cybercrime operation that shocked the world. Luxury apartments were raided. Multiple suspects were arrested. Woodberry was among them. After extradition to the United States, he later pleaded guilty to fraud charges and was sentenced to over 8 years in federal prison. Authorities also seized millions of dollars in assets connected to the crime. The luxury lifestyle that once dominated Instagram was suddenly gone. For years, Hushpuppi was one of the most recognizable faces on Instagram. From his base in Dubai, he posted photos wearing Gucci, Louis Vuitton and Fendi, often inside luxury hotels and private jets. His lifestyle looked almost unreal. Many followers believe he was a self-made billionaire businessman. His Instagram page had millions of followers, and every post looked like a scene from a luxury fashion campaign. But in June 2020, everything changed overnight. Dubai police launched a coordinated international operation known as Fox Hunt. Officers raided luxury properties linked to Hushpuppi and several associates. What investigators later revealed stunned the world. Authorities accused him of being involved in large-scale cyber and money laundering schemes, including attempts to steal tens of millions of dollars through business email compromise fraud. According to the US prosecutors, the operation targeted hundreds of victims around the world, including businesses and financial institutions. In 2022, Hushpuppi was sentenced in the United States to over 11 years in federal prison. Today, instead of luxury hotel suites in Dubai, he is serving his sentence at FCI Fort Dix in New Jersey, with a projected release date in 2029. The Instagram king of luxury now lives a completely different reality. Jason Michael branded himself as a cryptocurrency genius through a platform called African Arbitrage System. He claimed to offer automated crypto trading that could generate consistent profits. The pitch sounded irresistible: invest today and daily returns tomorrow. On social media, he displayed luxury homes, cars and expensive watches, while sharing motivational posts about financial freedom. The platform reportedly attracted tens of thousands of investors across Africa. But when withdrawals suddenly stopped, panic spread. Authorities later launched investigation into the platform. Accounts were frozen, assets were seized, and investors began demanding answers. For many people who trusted the promises, the financial losses were devastating. Back in 2017, few Nigerians look more successful online than Obi-Wan K, known on Instagram as Eventus Obi. He looked like the perfect success stories: sharp suits, luxury cars, international business conferences. He presented himself as the CEO of Eventus Group, a company supposedly operating in construction, oil and procurement across Africa. His influence grew so quickly that Forbes named him one of the Africa's 30 under 30 entrepreneurs. To young Nigerians, he was the ultimate proof that hard work would beat the system. But while his followers were applauding the success, US investigators were quietly watching. For 13 months, the FBI tracked his activities, and what they uncovered shocked everyone. Instead of running legitimate businesses, Okeke was involved in a business email compromise scheme, a sophisticated type of cyber fraud where criminals impersonate executives to trick companies into transferring money. According to US court records, the scheme helped steal over $11 million from companies across the United States and Europe. In 2019, the FBI moved in. Okeke was arrested and later pleaded guilty in a US federal court. Today, the man once celebrated by Forbes is serving a 10-year prison sentence in the United States. The champagne photo stopped, the luxury car disappeared, and the golden boy of Instagram became one of the biggest cyber cases tied to Nigeria. At just 25, Sophia looked like the definition of a modern tech success story. Her social media was filled with MacBooks, luxury cafes, tech conferences, and captions about building financial technology platforms. Many followers believed she was working with international startups, but investigators said the reality was very different. Authorities alleged she was specialized in building highly convincing fake websites designed to mimic legitimate financial platforms. These sites were used in phishing schemes to capture logs, credentials, and banking details. The operation allegedly targeted individuals and companies abroad. According to reports tied to investigations, the activity eventually drew the attention of the US authority. In April 2025, she was arrested in New York in connection with cybercrime investigations. The same coding skill that once impressed her followers became key evidence in the case against her, and the tech queen personnel suddenly collapsed overnight. But even after all these arrests, one thing became clear: Instagram wasn't just a place where scammers show off wealth. In the end, every single story led to the same place: investigations, arrests, and consequences. So the next time you're scrolling and see someone living the dream, ask yourself one simple question: what's really behind the lifestyle? Because on Instagram, not everything is what it seems. And sometimes the biggest flex is the biggest setup.